So a HELOC is not for everybody. We already know this, but how do you figure out how to kind of navigate those minefields in regards to using a HELOC in order to invest in real estate? Well, that's what we're going to go over today, how to avoid your biggest mistakes while using a HELOC in order to invest. Let's get to it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you didn't already know, my name is Jay Casa, and I am a real estate agent, investor, and builder here in Northern New Jersey. And if you get value after watching this video, please smash that like button down below, and also consider subscribing because, as I say in every intro of every video I make, we are building a tight-knit community here of like-minded individuals looking to build wealth in real estate. And a lot of times we talk about using a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, in order to do so quicker and easier than you would be able to without, to kind of supercharge or fast track that real estate investing journey. So if that interests you, definitely consider subscribing, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my weekly videos. But in this video, I kind of want to give you an overall guide in regards to navigating the minefield that is investing using your home equity line of credit and avoiding the biggest mistakes that people make when doing so. It's important to realize what you're doing and what money you're using and where it's coming from when you're using your home equity line of credit. Even though it's equity that you have in your home, it is your personal residence that you and your family presumably live in, so you need to treat that with the utmost care and responsibility. So it's very important to realize a few different things. Number one, even though it's your equity, it's not your money. If you already have a mortgage on the property, it's not fully your property. That bank is basically just giving back to you access to the money that you already gave them in regards to a down payment, as well as any equity, additional equity since buying the property. So it's not free money and it's barely even your money, but it is capital that you can use to supercharge and fast track your real estate investing journey. Second, you also have to realize that HELOC lenders can and will call back that balance at any time that they want. This could be for many different reasons, but obviously the biggest would be some sort of market correction or something like that, where home values are dropping drastically. I know it's hard to imagine that home values can go down at this point, but they can and they will one day. When that happens, I don't know, but you need to be aware of the risks that you're taking, and that is one of them. And lastly, you do need to be aware as well that the HELOC has a variable interest rate, meaning it can and will change with market conditions depending on what the Fed is doing at the time. For that reason, I always recommend that HELOCs only be used short term. A great way to sum all of these kind of concerns and risks that you need to know and avoid that battlefield, that minefield that we're talking about, is if you use my 4 rules for HELOC investing. Number one, it always needs to be short term. As I just said, since the HELOC does have a variable interest rate, it is so important to only hold a balance on that HELOC for a short period of time. Do not hold that HELOC. I mean, it depends on the situation and your situation, but don't hold it for any longer than, I would say, 2 years maximum. The reason for this is because since the interest rate is variable, it can and will change. Naturally, the longer you hold a balance on that HELOC, the more risk you're putting yourself in regards to using that HELOC, running a risk of the, whatever project you're using the HELOC balance for going bad or south in some way. The more risk you're taking that there could be some sort of market correction, and the HELOC lender can call back that loan balance at any time. Just simply put, the longer you have a HELOC balance, the more risk you're taking. That means do not use it on a long-term rental property unless you have, which brings us to my second HELOC rule, a clear exit strategy. So a clear exit strategy in regards to a HELOC is basically a clear plan on how you're going to pay off that HELOC. So for instance, my favorite way to use a HELOC is in regards to a fix and flip project. You take the money out of the HELOC, use it to buy the property, renovate the property, whatever, okay? And naturally, by definition, a fix and flip is short term, and there is an exit strategy because the exit strategy is when you go sell the property. So you have that HELOC balance invested into this property that you just flipped, you just redid, you sell the property, all the proceeds from the sale you use to pay off that HELOC, and you keep the rest. That's the exit strategy. Now, what exit strategy would there be if you wanted to use your HELOC in order to get a long-term rental property? Well, really the only way that I could see a clear exit strategy on a long-term rental property is using the BRRRR method. So the BRRRR method is very, very well known from Bigger Pockets and other communities like that. It stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. So very simply, I would say that you could use your HELOC in order to buy a rental property, but only if you use this tactic. So you use it to either buy the property or rehab the property, just like a flip, okay? Once you are finished with the property and finish rehabbing it, you go back to the bank and say that you want to do a cash out refinance. When you do that cash out refinance, the bank will give you the money back, the equity that you built into the home. Use that to go pay off the HELOC. If you're planning on keeping that HELOC balance long term for longer than 2 years and not doing a cash out refi, don't do it. I promise you, you are going to get totally screwed. It's a recipe for financial disaster, and you're going to lose your home, the home that you and your family live in. So make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. But that is the exit strategy that you would use in regards to using a HELOC in order to buy a long-term rental property. HELOC rule number 3 is never take money out of your HELOC that you don't have somewhere else to pay it back, aka don't over leverage yourself. Many people out there say this is way too conservative, and why would I need to even get a HELOC if I had the money to pay it off? Everyone has different risk tolerances. This is how I feel. Someone who has a family and a home with a family in it, I would never put my house on the line that my family lives in, okay, in order to go make a buck unless I have that money somewhere else to pay it back. It could be in a retirement account, brokerage account, whatever, somewhere. You need a way to pay it back because things go bad, things go south. The market can go bad or south. Your project can go bad or south, probably even more likely at this point than the market going south. And as I mentioned earlier, the HELOC lender can call back that HELOC balance at any time for any reason they want. So you need to be prepared. You take 100 grand out of your HELOC. This is the equity that you have in your home. Let's say the project, the flip that you did, something went wrong, someone got hurt, there was some sort of injury, your insurance is fighting it, saying they're not going to cover everything. That HELOC lender is going to call back that balance. What happens? Do you have that 100 grand? If you have it, use the HELOC. If you don't have it, you really need to consider your risk tolerance and figure out what you're actually willing to lose, because that starts going down a path of basically what I call using your home as an ATM machine. And that's not what we want to do here. We want to use our HELOC safely and effectively to build wealth, but in a way that protects yourself and minimizes risk. There's always going to be some sort of risk in regards to real estate investing, but you want to minimize that risk as much as possible while still making money. And lastly, my number 4 HELOC rule is only use it on things that are either going to make or save you money. You would think this was common sense, but you'd be very surprised what people want to use their HELOC for. Don't go buy a car, don't go buy a boat, don't even use it to rehab or renovate, I should say, your actual home. So many people in the comment section down below, if you haven't been there by now, drop down, let me know what you're using your HELOC on. Would love to hear and talk to you guys and give you any help that I can. But so many people down there say, hey, I need a new bathroom. Hey, I want to redo my the siding. I wanted to redo my deck. I need a new kitchen. That's not what a HELOC's for. This is not free money. Don't use your home as an ATM machine because it can and will bite you in the ass eventually, I promise you, if you're not careful. And just because you have that equity doesn't mean that it needs to be used, especially on something that's not going to make or save you money. And that does include home improvements like a new kitchen and a new bathroom and things like that. You may think that you're improving the value of the home, and you are, but guess what? By the time you go sell the house, it's not going to be a new kitchen and a new bathroom anymore. You're never going to get that money back, and you're going to be paying interest on interest on interest for a depreciating investment. Now, I'm an investor, I'm a builder, okay? You can add value in real estate on your own. That's one of the biggest and most powerful parts of real estate investing, that you have more control over it than you would like in the stock market or something like that. But it's only worthwhile when you're going to sell that property right away or rent that property right away, not for your own use. Your own use, use cash. Use cash, not your home equity line of credit, for your own use. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, I have more HELOC related content as well as real estate investing content in a custom playlist. I'll put a link in the description box down below as well as up here in the corner right now. Definitely check that out. And Like I said, let me know in the comment section what you're using your HELOC for towards the end of 2024, heading into 2025. We're already halfway through this year. Let me know what you're thinking. Rates may be lower next year, possibly. Who knows? So many things going on. Let me know in the comment section what you guys are thinking. Appreciate it as always, and I will see you next time.